Well, first of all, I want to give Northern Illinois a ton of credit. And I said that to the guys in the locker room. They're not going to Cleveland mathematically. They're down to 8 guys. Amos and Nutter aren't here. So they're second and third leading scorer. It's the same 8 guys that beat Toledo on Tuesday night at Toledo. And then they come in here and play on the road at Akron. And first half, they were the better team. I thought they were super physical. They played hard. Their effort, their ability to play together was impressive. I've been doing this 30 years. If you're a team that's not mathematically in the equation and it's March 2nd and you've struggled at times like they have with injuries and different things and maybe haven't won like they would like to, you typically don't see a team like that play with that type of effort in March. Phenomenal. So I want to give Coach Burno and his crew and his players a lot of credit because I thought they played really hard. They were physical. Thought they were good on the backboard early. I thought they were ready to play, and that's not easy to do. So it shows a lot about their character. So I want to start with that. In terms of us, I thought we were good on the glass in the first half offensively, and that was about the only thing we did well, quite frankly, in the first half. Second half, I thought we were better offensively than in the first half. The ball moved a little bit better. I thought assistants had some suggestions on some things. We changed a couple things offensively that I thought really worked for us that were good. So we were able to get the ball to spots. I thought the ball moved better. We shot, obviously, a higher percentage, had a higher assist rate, got easier shots, turned it over one time less. Still pretty effective on the offensive glass. Defensively, we weren't where we needed to be in either half. I thought Coit was unbelievable. Just a phenomenal performance by him. He asked me there on the sideline, what defense you going to be in, kind of joking around. I said, which one do you want me to play? None of them have stopped you. I'll let you choose. So he was incredible. I thought the last time we had a hard time handling a guy like that. Now, keep in mind, we had good defenders on him, too, like Greg Tribble, all-MAC defender. Ali, in my opinion, an all-MAC defender at 6'8", trying to shoot over him at that size. And I thought he was terrific. The last time we had a tough time stopping a guy like that, individually playing like that in the middle of a game, was Tucker DeVries from Drake in the Cayman Islands. So he was dynamic. So once again, give him credit.
Questions?
John, obviously you got tighter than I'm sure you had hoped at the end. So what was your kind of message about closing out?
Yeah, I just didn't think we closed it out very well. But we were up 10 at one point, too, and I didn't think we played great. We weren't as mentally sharp as we need to be in order to continue on the progression of playing our best here late in the year. Our guys know that. I thought our effort was good. Thought our blockouts, our rotations, our ball movement in the first half, we just weren't real sharp. And when you're playing a team like them that's competing at the level they have this week against both us and Toledo, they were physical, played hard, played loose and aggressive. And, again, Coit was unbelievable offensively. I got a lot of respect for Freeman and Ali. Obviously, they're two of my guys, and they're very, very good players, great players. But Coit was the best offensive player on the court tonight. And I'm not trying to disrespect my guys. My guys are good players. But, was he unreal. So, again, give them credit. We need to be a little bit sharper, though, mentally moving forward.
I know you said your defense wasn't what you wanted in either half, but I have to go back and look, but I think it was you guys only gave up like 10 points in the first 10 minutes.
Of the second half? Yeah, I thought the steal by Thornton, and I thought, a couple of offensive possessions there where we scored right at the beginning of the second half kind of helped us set the tone. Nate, it did. And I thought we played better. We played better in the second half until we got in the lead, and then I thought we got a little comfortable down the stretch and just didn't execute, weren't sharp enough, didn't make free throws, sloppy defensively, let them score too quickly without the clock burning enough. We just weren't real sharp mentally. We got to be a lot sharper.
Is it nice to be able to have that kind of reminder in a win shortly before the tournament? Is there something you can use?
It is, but I'm going to be honest with you. We've had too much of it lately, not just tonight. Too much of it lately. 10-point lead in Athens with 11 to go and made too many mental errors. I thought we had too many at Toledo. Quite frankly, I thought we had too many at Buffalo when we won. James Madison, similar. Kent here is probably the best we've played in a while here. We had good energy that night. We shot it in. Defensively, we were impactful in that first half. The second half, we weren't very good defensively against Kent. I give them credit. They made shots and executed, but we've got to be a lot mentally sharper. I think it starts between our ears. We got to be sharper mentally than what we are right now. We got to figure out how to help the guys more.
Coach, you got choked up pregame talking about your 5 guys, so I'll ask the obvious. What has this group meant to you and meant to this program?
Well, it meant, everything, right? We're just saying on the radio, it's a crazy deal. The first 2 years, we really struggled from a winning perspective. And a lot of these guys that you're watching right now, they bought into the championship vision of, hey, we were going to, do something special here. And it hadn't been done yet. There wasn't evidence yet of any high-level winning or championship contention, but yet they believed it. So now they come, and that was a different era too. So if that was today, all those guys you saw sitting out in the first year would have been playing immediately. Sirius Williams, Christian Jackson, Dang Riak. Those guys are, good players, but they had to sit. In today's day and age, you get a transfer, they play immediately. So you can turn it maybe a little quicker because of that. But, they bought into it. I just think they, from Greg across the board, really. I told him yesterday, Greg, when I think about him, I think about his commitment he's made from a guy that's went from being a defensive stopper to now being a two-way player. I think about Enrique's story we could talk about for an hour. It's one of the most amazing stories in all of college basketball. Ali's courage to come back. It's not easy to do that. And to go through that whole waiver thing when it was in flux at that time takes some real courage. Tribble's commitment. Sammy Hunter, what a blessing he's been. That dude, there isn't a guy that touches Sammy Hunter that doesn't love Sammy Hunter. From his teammates to his staff to people on campus to people that I get notes and emails that they ran into Sammy Hunter and what a great he's been unbelievable. Not only is he a really good player, he's just a great guy. Then KT, I tell him all the time, I wish I'd had him for more than 1 year because I think he's continued to get better. And he's sacrificed a lot, man, to come here and be a part of a winning team. So all those guys, mean a great deal to us and always will. But no, it's a really special group.
Do you approach the final 2 games as we want to have these things in order before we go to Cleveland?
I think, Nate, what we'll do is what we always do. The staff's on me sometimes because they want, this is Z generation. What do they call it? Oh, you guys. They get bored. Well, they got to look at their phones. They got to do this. They got to do that. Hey, here's the deal. This is what wins, and that's what it requires. We're going to do it or we're not going to do it. These guys are old guys. They know. They won. They know what it takes. And so for me, I think it's more about the standard of which we play at, bigger than even the winning or the losing. Because I know if we play at that standard, our chances to get the result we want are pretty good. But we've got to be better. We got to impact more defensively. We've got to, be sharper, close the game out, like your question, step up, make a few free throws, handle the ball against the press, get a couple stops, be a little stingier. Don't let them score that quickly because the clock's your friend at that point. And just, all the little things that go into that, we try to, and the guys will tell you this, whether we win or lose, we evaluate the game based on our standards. So there's been times since they've been here over 5 years, you can ask them, where we've won and I haven't been very happy. There's been a handful of times where we've gotten beat, but I thought we played well. Then obviously a majority of the times when we play really well and up to par, our standard, we win a lot. So I'm more concerned about that than I am, results. They'll take care of themselves. Obviously, we all want results, right? But at the end of the day, the best way to get them is to play well. Play to our standard. Defend like we know how we can defend. Take care of the ball. Execute. Get good shots. Play together. get to the next play. All those things matter.
Last question. Anybody? Or we go?
One quick one is just that this is the first time Nate Johnson's back at home. He came back.
Yeah.
So getting him back in the mix, how's it gone?
Yeah, I probably have, and I'm sure Nate, Jerry, and his family would want me to say this. I have very high expectations for Nate. Okay, so let's start there. In Athens, I was stunned that he could play 25 minutes after being out that long. Couldn't believe it. That was not the plan to play him 25 minutes. Okay, Ali got in foul trouble. His cardio looked great. Trainer's like, hey, his hand's perfectly fine. It was more of a cardio, progression, rhythm thing. And the other night, I thought he was in rhythm. Tonight, not so much. Struggled a little bit. And I got on him, but, I probably need to have a little perspective and say, hey, wait a minute now. This dude has played in 2 games and had 2 live practices in the last 5 weeks. But that's not my style. He knows that. So he's going to be held accountable to the same standards as everybody else. But he'll play better. Got in a little bit of foul trouble tonight. Made a couple bad decisions with the ball. He'll play better. We're very blessed that we had 2 games, Nate, this week, and then we have 2 games coming up, so he has a chance to get acclimated, heading into Cleveland. If he comes back at the very end, then he doesn't have. Now you're in a real quandary, right? So he'll get 4 games under his belt, which will be good for him. But you can ask them. These guys are smart guys. They know we need to be better. I'm not telling you anything they don't know. They already know that.